Next, I just have written down as hurdles. I think that hurdles are what is keeping me from doing the most work in life. Now, what do I mean when I say hurdles? It's not like track and field hurdles. I was awful when I tried that once, so I just stuck to shot put. When I say hurdles, I mean like hassle hurdles, so things that aren't necessarily in the way, right? They're not stopping you, but they're just enough of a irritant that you don't want to do the thing that they're in front of. This setup for oil painting is so mind-numbing that I never really feel like doing it. The setup and teardown for oil painting takes probably an hour total. So it takes a half hour to set up and a half hour to take down. Now this is exacerbated by the fact that you may need to dry paints depending what you're doing. So oil paint typically comes out of the tube very wet, kind of like mustard. If you don't shake up mustard before try and dispense it, you're a monster, an actual monster. And with oil painting, it kind of be the same thing. You get like a stream of oil that comes out of the tube before you get anything else. The oil will never be discussed again. And the teardown is worse by a lot. Setup is fun, right? Because you're like planning what you're gonna do, all the artsy stuff. And then when you're done, you've got to clean up oil paint off of everything, which I don't know if you figured this out yet, like if you're an adult who can reason, but oil paint is designed to stick onto stuff and leave a residue for all of eternity. And it does it well. And so when you put oil paint onto things you don't want to be destroyed forever and eternity, it sucks. It's the worst. The palette, you have to get thinner out, wipe the palette off so it's nice and clear again. Clear palettes are superior than just regular palettes or wood palettes. Wood palettes are nice if you use them once and they soak up the unnecessary oil and it's fine and good. But I'm here for reusability. I want to spend $8 on a thing and never replace it. The oil does not absorb, it does not wipe off easily. It's the worst of both. The worst of both. Just keep it to that. The brushes, cleaning paintbrushes is my arch enemy. My actual arch enemy. Imagine that I am Superman. Cleaning paintbrushes is my Lex Luthor. You have to get like a tin of stuff, right? It's like a bar of soap in a tin, and you get your paintbrushes all wet with water, which you wouldn't typically do, right? Oil paint, water don't mix, famously. You saw it in chemistry. You take the brush, you put it in the tin, you lather it up. By the way, you should have already soaked these in thinner to draw out the excess oil. You dry it off however you feel is best. You lather up this brush, you dry it out. You do that a few times. It's got like this dusty residue, you bang that stuff off, and then it's clean again. That's not fun, especially when you're doing any sort of painting that takes more than like 4 or 5 paintbrushes. At that point, you're looking at an hour, a solid hour of cleaning paintbrushes. Who has that time? I've just like hosed off a palette. Now I'm washing paintbrushes like they're some sort of animal. I suppose for some of them they were some sort of animal, but now they're not. We've made them into a man-made thing. Why do they need shampoo? It's a lot of work, which sucks because painting is so fun. It is one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done. And the end result can often be very beautiful and a good way to relieve stress. But boy, I just hate setting that up and cleaning it up. Oh, look over there, a random thought. It's not your job to yell at me, it's my job. It's what I do every morning when I wake up. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. These hurdles exist in everything. Anything you try to do will have hurdles. It also exists in like cooking. This is the reason I think a lot of people don't cook for themselves, beyond thinking that they can't, which is absurd. Unless you have some sort of ailment where you have no control over the physical world, you can cook. It's not super difficult. And I understand being scared, right? It's frankly dangerous, to be in a kitchen. Pans get hot, oil is scary and splatters, but you can make mac and cheese. I can make mac and cheese. I've been making mac and cheese since I was like 5 years old. Without permission. Like an insane person. The setup, right? You need to have the equipment. If you've not been given that equipment and you have to acquire it on your own, it can be intimidating, right? You gotta go to a new aisle in the grocery store. You've gotta maybe go to a different store entirely. And there's so many options. What do you get? Do you get Teflon pans? Do you get stainless steel pans? Do you know what the difference is? What other equipment do you need? Because now you have a pan, but you get home. Do you have a spoon, a spatula, tongs? Do you have cooking oil? This is even before we get to food or learning how to cook in general. I understand it's intimidating, but you can do it. And I believe in you. Which is saying something, because I hardly believe myself. The interrupting cat. Oh, my cat has decided he wants to play with a bag. Hold on a moment. I have moved my cat to my lap. If we are blessed, we might get to hear the cat speak into the microphone. If we are not blessed, he shall sit here and purr and shed fur all over me. Bale, you want to talk? No, he does not want to talk. He wants to leave. Okay, do you want to go? Oh, you want to eat my notebook. Get out of here. I don't know what this cat's deal is. His mental acuity is less than that of a twig. Maybe a stick bug. He might just be smarter than a stick bug. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. There's hurdles to even start cooking, and then once you want to do it, it's like, man, I want to cook pork today. What's that mean? Do I have pork in the fridge? No. Do I have pork in the freezer? Sure. I have to pull the pork out hours in advance, sometimes a day in advance, depending on how much you have frozen together, to make sure it defrosts in time, that it thaws in time for you to be able to cook it. You can't just cook frozen meat because it will be overdone on the outside and unsafe to eat on the inside. Once you've prepared all the stuff, right, you then have to eat the food, which is kind of the whole point of the deal, right? You've cooked all this food, now you want to eat it. You eat it, you're feeling good, you're like, damn, that was some tasty ass food. What do you do now? Now you gotta clean up. Cleaning up is just one of those parts of cooking that no one likes. Hurdles are a big problem, something I've not yet solved, and I'm actively looking for solutions, so if you have solutions, let me know.